So, so the trick to this thing is to
Good
start
evening.
early. Hi, good to see you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Okay, so
Thank you.
just we still have 2 more minutes. So
Okay. I can't see your face.
you come to my
Probably
face.
yeah.
Can you see my face now?
Not yet. I don't know if it's from me.
I think it's for me because I can see yours. I think you're hanging. Network has started. Okay, can you see me now?
Not yet. But I think it's fine. Let us
Okay, so good evening, everybody. You're welcome to Business Beyond Skills. This is an initiative of Sassy Saint Craft Company. Business Beyond Skills is an interactive chat with the vision to build excellent minds in the business of crafts. Each month, we invite intelligent minds over to chat, dealing in different topics that helps this vision of building to last. You can send in topics you believe should be discussed and it will be put into consideration. Today, our topic is scaling in the African craft space. What do we mean by craft space? The craft space is the world that craftsmen build and serve through while making sure their services are rendered, delivered, and recognized. In this space, craftsmen crafts. But like farmers, you don't sow seeds for just your family. You sow and harvest for beyond your world. As usual, we tender to craftsmen, the individuals who create using their hands. Their means and methods may differ. These individuals are skilled to make intricate, detailed, functional, or even unassuming things out of the simple resources available to mankind. We're everywhere. Our works are everywhere. Our services are limitless, but we can be plagued by what, you may ask? Well, playing small. A lot of classmen play small. Does it mean to scale? Scaling in business means setting the stage, building structures to enable and support growth in your company. It means having the ability to grow without being slowed down or obstructed. It will require planning, some funding, and the right systems, staff, processes, technology, and partners. A lot of times, people confuse growth with scaling. Though similar, they do have their peculiar differences. Business growth is about increasing top-line revenues at any cost, while scaling is about increasing revenues while minimizing costs, effectively improving your bottom line on profit margin. Scaling involves developing and implementing strategies that allow a company to increase its operation and reach a wider customer base. Understanding the concept of scaling and its importance is essential for any business aiming for success in a competitive market, especially our craftsmen. To this note, I'll be introducing the man of the hour, Mr. David Makinwa. He's a top consultant and an author. His books are evergreen and quite insightful. He has written books like Dear Mentor, Halfway But Starting, and Maze Balls. I especially love Dear Mentor because of its wit and style of writing. He's a man of great depth and brand building as well as business consulting. A thought leader, of course. So as I add him on, please don't forget to send in your questions and let's take down our notes. Do we have Mr. Makinwa here? I think he has gone offline again. So as we were saying, as regards scaling, a lot of times craftsmen play small and we actually we have a situation where we we have a situation where we do things within our means, in quote. We do it within our means. We do business within our means, catering to neighbors, catering to those that are being referred to us without actually reaching far and wide. So I'm going to be inviting Mr. Makinwa now to take us through scaling in the in the space, scaling in the craft space. And I'm going to start with the question, what does it mean to scale? And I'll just let him go from there when I ask questions over time. Thank you, Mr. Makinwa.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, as assistant. It's a great honor to be here. Please can you confirm if you can hear me loud and clear?
Can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor. I think this is my second section on this particular program, and it's an honor to be back here. So today I will just go straight to the point as the topic speaks for itself. Scaling in the African crowd space. So one of our issues about as diverse as Africa is, we have in the African space we are being defined by our diversity. We have is a vast continent comprising like of 54 countries with their own unique cultures, markets, and regulatory environment. So in this kind of situation, scaling is quite a challenge, and you need to apply extra effort to scale and make the best out of it. So scaling is as our host defined earlier on, is it means setting the stage to enable and support growth in your company. So how prepared are you for the raining day, and are you building enough stamina to expand beyond what you are having right now? So that's what scaling has to do. So, but we all know what the craft space is involves involving skill in making things by hand,
Okay.
and so so by hand, uh, people limit by hand by just there are places for automations, getting your gadgets right and what have you. So I'll just run through a few points and uh, what are what are the scale limiters, what are scale enablers. Okay, I'll just run a few of them, and and we'll be done for today. Okay, so I'll just run through a few of them. So one of the things you need to understand before scaling is um understand the market size. Okay, the size of your market, how what is the growth rate of a particular market. So now we're not just talking about we're not just talking about CEO. pet project. We're talking about real business here. So we need to understand what is the size of the market for your products. How big is the market? What is the growth rate? And if you're not resurrecting a dead business or already a dead idea, so you need to understand the market size, the population, people who are going to use your product. So how big is the market? If it's small, what is the growth rate? Okay, you need to you need to be able to capture all of this. Okay, so it's not about what you want to do, it's about people that need your goals. So it's not about how talented you are first, it's about um people that are going to use your product. Do you have a market for it? Okay.
How do
um
how do we measure these markets? Like you said we should know the market size. How do we measure the market size? Because I know for somewhere like our country, we really do not have data. So how do we measure that market size to know, okay, this market size is good enough for me to scale?
All right. So it's sometimes you get it by trends. You see, sometimes there might not be direct goods, there might be complementary goods. And so if bread is fast selling, and you should understand that you have complements, product complements like butter, um, what have you. So
Yeah.
you have to check the market trend. Okay. You need to understand people's needs, right? And these are easily heard on the street, on social media, and what have you. Okay, so these are just before you don't need to go to be in Harvard to know the current needs of the market or how fast the market is moving. Okay, so you can just do one or two samples, and sometimes it's even your needs that is well needed in the market. Okay, so if there's no need, there's no solution. So needs create solutions in the market. So what are the other things? What are people struggling with? That could be an opportunity to also grab this market space. Okay, you could download materials and just check people's habits, people's buying habits. Um, Around. So I don't want to go too technical. I just want to like very mere observations. You can get your data and that will help. But if you want to go further, you can engage professionals, get people to help you gather statistics, human needs, and if it's visible, you have to do the visibility and what have you. Okay, so you need to understand the market size. Okay, how big is the market? So if you are doing a particular product, um, how big is the market size? So if the market size is not there, or even though it's little or small, how fast does it grow? So for now, we have the fintech. Everybody wants to be in the fintech space. You have fintech app, fintech springing up almost every day. So it's high, all right. So it's a market that is it might be small like 5 years ago, but it's a growing one. Okay. Some years back, the content industry is nothing to write home about, but now it was little then, but it's a growing one. Okay, so you need to understand people that need how big is your market. If they are not big, how small it is. If it's small, what is the growth rate? Okay, then you need to understand distribution. As perfect as good as your goods are, it won't worth a penny if it's not well distributed. Okay, so the fact about distribution is an individual that have a good product, have a fantastic distribution channel, will do far better if than people that have a poor product and a good distribution system. So they go hand in hand. So you must understand that one, you need to understand the market size. The second point on portrait is you need to understand your distribution center. Okay, as good as your product is,
Okay, I think there's an hanging happening. Network is really bad. But I want to quickly ask a question on that distribution because there are days and times where we we know that okay we're supposed to distribute, but the how do we distribute is usually a question. How do we go ahead and be like, okay, this is the best distribution channel to use? How do we say this is the way to go? Because I know there are different distribution channels for the craft space right now. You can distribute either by using the field agents. What do I mean by field agents? By using marketers. There is something they call drop shipping. So you can also use those that want to drop ship. But you can actually have field agents. You can have those that are going to go into the market and actually help you distribute. You don't have to be the one to do everything. Another way to distribute could be depending on which part of the craft you're entering into, which part of the excuse me, which part of the craft you're actually doing. Let's say for instance, if you're in my type of craft, which is footwear making, one distribution channel could be the supermarket. So I was speaking on the distribution channels, and I was saying that depending on the crafts, there are different distribution channels that you can look into. And most times, the distribution doesn't even have to be direct. It's to be business to business. It doesn't have to be business to customers direct. So you can help us. You can speak more on that too.
All right, so I have two distribution basically. One is freemium and one is leveraging on existing platform. Okay, you have large network. When eBay was when PayPal, it was a fine, fantastic idea. Transfer to emailing. When they came into business, they existed because there was a business that used the particular product, which is eBay. Okay, and so sometimes it's not how fantastic your idea is. Your idea will die, will dry if there's no a proper distribution center. So PayPal is existing today. It was a perfect idea, but it needed a source, a distribution to feed in, and the perfect one was eBay. Okay, and so we have the
Okay, we'll have to keep trying and managing this network, but I'm going to go on from where it stopped. So it was saying that for PayPal, for eBay, PayPal, they have eBay. Um,
so
okay, yeah, you can go on.
all right. So the second one is being viral or virality, which means the free version of it, where it's like a proper word of mouth, where people that have used your product, so it's like word of mouth, where when people tell another about your product, probably sometimes I think is the best and the last thing, where you have your level of referral is great, so that's why whatever customers you have will bring 10 more customers to you or more. All right. So the first one, you leverage on existing platforms. So if you are into craft, don't just sell it on your social media. Go to supermarket.
Okay, yeah,
We,
really,
we,
you're
we
hanging
tend to
right now.
survive.
So it was saying
We
that,
sometimes we're just
go on, go on.
so we don't have to be a loner. Okay. So leverage on existing.
I have a question on that because personally, in my craft business, I realized that what has worked for me all this while has been the word of mouth. My referral business, like it's on par. That's what has worked for me. However, I feel like I'm playing small because I'm really like I've 100% relied on word of mouth. I feel I can do more. And can you like give practical example apart from the supermarkets, of course? What else can we do that can bring in the referrals coming in and help us know that okay, the market is actually out there that we can reach out to and meet their needs? Can you hear me? Okay, I think he's hanging again. Okay, so I'm just going to go on. So another thing we can do is you can reach out, you can create a market that interacts with your other colleagues. In other words, what do I mean? When if you're creating footwear and you know that okay, I want to be different. I want to, yes, network is very poor, but we're going to, because we've promised to do this, we're just going to do it regardless. And maybe if it's not that good, we can even do something better next time. But today, regardless of the network, we will do what we have to do. So what when it says doing the word of mouth, it simply means when your work is well done, it actually speaks for itself. Once they have gotten it, once your client has gotten it, if it satisfies them, and not just satisfy them, but also meet them beyond their expectation. They have something, they have an experience, they would have something to share, and they will let others know. However, let's not stop at that, because sincerely, you won't grow from there. You won't grow as well from there, and you won't be able to scale as much from there. In as much as scaling and growth are two different things, but you need to grow to know that okay, I'm ready to scale. And in that you can create products that you would collaborate. What do I mean? You can meet a photographer that works with product photography. Tell the person you want a team in terms of whatever it is you're doing, whether it's footwear, whether it's shoes, whether it's furniture. Tell the person you want a theme, and you want the two of you to work together, and the person takes pictures of that, probably using, let's use furniture. um Person sketches out an idea based on the type of furniture they would like that relates with that theme. You create the furniture. The client that comes in snaps with that furniture. Why snapping with the furniture? You are tagged that you make this furniture, because the furniture is so different. Remember that you didn't just create a furniture, there was a theme that you worked with that theme, and it speaking the language of what you want using furniture. Your clients will find you, because once they see, they are like, who made this? They would know. You would speak their language, they would know, they would now reach out to you. But what you did was you just leverage on the person's photography. So it's the same thing with every other craft space. You have to understand that other craft space you have to understand that other craft space, in as much as is a wide world, and that's just the truth. A lot of it's because it's skills, it's technical skills. You have a lot of people doing the same thing. You have a lot of people doing exactly what you're doing. How do you make yourself different? How do you stand out? How do you become it? How do you become the shoemaker? How do you become the furniture maker? Like, not just a furniture maker, but the furniture maker. How do you become that? You have to ask yourself these deep questions, and sometimes you have to go and train yourself in branding. As much as, and branding is not just logo, by the way. Branding is not just, oh, I am crafting logo. Branding, it goes beyond that. Branding is trying to know who you are, the experiences you want your customers or your clients to have, and trying to relate that and send that message the right way. Okay, Mr.
Hi,
Makinwa,
sorry. Yeah, thanks. I don't know what's happening, but so sorry.
it's
Um,
network. So, but you can continue.
all right. So I was talking about distribution, right?
Yes.
So you need to understand. So first, word of mouth might take to an extent, but it helps build credibility. Okay. So what point Money Point did was they used agents in communities, and so if you understand the how the grand style of Money Point, they didn't come up from top to bottom. They started with community where people used their peers, trusted the peers, and the reversal rate was low. and what have you. So first, they used community agents in community, and that word of mouth had a way it enabled them and accelerated their growth. Okay, so I know a number of people that used Money Point because uh, word of mouth. So there was no special ads. There was no so it has low reversal um dispense error when you are debited. The reverse rate is high. The network is fantastic. It's faster than the conventional applications we had around. Okay, so they used Money Point use word of mouth. You could listen to a customer in the supermarket about using a POS. The first thing is going to ask you when you start encountering when you start having challenges. It's going to advise you to have Money Point. So it's
True.
fantastic. So you must have a good product. So I was about going to the third one, which is scaling limiters, which is people fail to understand the market fit or the product fit. Do the products or the products you have, are they going to satisfy your market? Okay, so you need to understand you must have a good product, not a perfect product. You must have a fantastic product that satisfy a particular need. As I said earlier on, we have people like Steve Jobs, we have people like Microsoft, Bill Gates. At the time in their life, they had pet projects. You know, when you just come up and you're inspired to build a particular project without understanding the product dynamics, how it's going to affect the market, how the consumers are going to use the particular product. You just created it because you have a passion. You love the product. They call it CEO's pet projects. So it's not about having a pet project, the one you like. It's what people like. Okay, so
Okay, the network is really showing us today. But that's fine. That's fine. God will still do what he wants to do. So it was talking about market fit. And let me break that down. Market fit is simply you creating a product that satisfies the needs of your market. You can't you can create a product that satisfies your own need, that oh, I just want to create this product, I'm having fun. But if you really want to scale and you want to grow, it has to be, you have to have a market that wants that need, that wants that needs has to satisfy. Sorry about that. And you have to understand what they want and how they want it. Why do they want it? So that you can work with that. It's very easy to be so into your work that you think, oh, if I create it like this, it's going to be so nice and people will just like it. But the truth is, people don't just always like it. Sometimes you already have a particular thing they want, and even if it doesn't make sense to you, it makes sense to them. And because they are the ones paying for the value, you have to make sure that it is what they want, the value that they want, so that they can give you the value of money. I hope that's very understood. So you have to also understand that and know that market fit is very important when it comes to scaling. You have to do your assignment. Know that your market has a need, as we've said earlier. Know that your market has things that they want, and it's not just what the need is, it is how do you want this needs delivered. Now let's give an example. We are all most I'm going to use my space, the shoemaking. I make shoes, my friends make shoes. I know a number of people that make shoes. Now, knowing that they make shoes, our market may be different. We are doing the same thing, but our market may be different because of how we deliver. I hope you understand that. So because of how you deliver, your markets may be different. So my market is going to be different from the shoemaker at the roadside market, because he does repairs. He caters to those that maybe their shoes caught on the road and they quickly want to repair it. He caters to those that, oh, they just need a footwear to take them from here to there. They are not really particular about the message is sent. They are not particular about style. They are not particular about quality. It may cater to that. But I would cater to a different market. because of how I deliver. Not just that I make good shoes, but I also package it well. I also make sure that it fits the individual style. I also make sure that this footwear I am doing doesn't just fit the individual style, but also satisfies the individual needs. And for somebody that has bunion, I wouldn't make any type of shoe. I would consider the defects the person has on his feet. So those little details are what matters when you want to scale. You have to understand what is that market fit, who is my market, and how does my product fit the market, so that I can know how to deliver it, because that also matters. I have a friend that caters to the rich, and the way he or she would, or let me just say she, because she's a she, the way she would deliver her product will be different from the way I would deliver my product, because in as much as my products are not cheap, they are not exactly luxury either. So our market differs, and that's when market fits counts. So I'm going to let Mr. Makinwa continue from here. Okay, sir, you're on. Yes, I can.
Right. So sorry. So I'm just going to run through what I have. So you must understand your market fit. So first you have a skill, right? As fantastic as your skill is, you need to understand.
I can hear you. Okay, it's gone off again. So I'm just going to go on until it comes back. So we're going to talk about, let's quickly talk about um, the difference between, okay, it's coming back again. I'm so sorry about this. Okay.
All right. So first, as a craftsman or as a craftswoman, you have a skill, right? As fantastic as your skills are, you need to understand the market fit. Okay, it is not a pet project. This is a business. You must discover the needs around your skill. What are the satisfaction people are going to derive from your skills? Then you understand the market size. Once you get the market size, you discover the distribution. I made an example with the money points. Okay, so they started using communities. That gave them the credibility they needed, and they expand, and you see them on billboards today. But they didn't just start from billboards. They start from creating credibility. People trusted the process and what have you. So I'm going to run through my next point. I don't know if you have a question I need to answer, then I'll move on.
Okay, so the next question I have for you is simply um, the types of scaling, because I know there are different types of scaling in business. Um, though our thoughts right now is to scale means we'll just probably just open different branches. What is scaling, and what are the types of scaling in very clear terms, so we don't assume.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm just going to run through a popular um different type of market scaling. So stay with me. Hold on. I'm
Okay.
just going to check that through. Um, so um, so it depends. Okay. It depends on the magnitude. So some people call the first level of scaling as the family. Okay, where you just have just a family. You just have a number of people you can affect. Then you have a tribe, where you have tens of people, maybe in 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. And then you have the village, where you have hundreds, maybe 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Then you have the city, where you have if thousands. Okay, so it depends. So this is just then you have a nation. So, but for me, I like to use it. So this adjusts your capacity of level of scaling. So it depends your base. So it could be family, tribe, village, city, and nation.
Mm. So with this explanation you just gave now, how do we know when to scale? My business, I'm as much as I think, oh, okay, I'm not just running a pet project. Now I know my market, I know my market size. But I myself, am I ready to scale? How do I know, okay, this business is ready to scale, not just grow, but to scale? And then for somebody that is just carving leather, a shoemaker, or somebody that is just filing styrofoam, a paper craftsman, how does the person scale? How when do I know I'm supposed to scale? I'm a one-man business. How am I supposed to scale? What do I need? Do I need a team to scale? What are the type of team what type of team should I look out for? What are the best team to search for? Or do I need investments to scale? I need to know.
All right. So once sometimes before you scale, there's as I said earlier on, the market fit. Um, what is it satisfying? The next one we have the size of the market, which is fantastic. Is there a market for this? So Money Point realized there's market for POS business. It's an African thing. Okay. So POS is not a global stuff, it's an African thing. And so they realized people have issues. So the alternative way out then was just ATM. So the POS business was meant for point of sale where you just go, you make your payment for the products you get. And Africans or Nigerians change the dynamics. People are now using it for cashback. And these guys realize there's a big market for this. Imagine we charge 5 naira for each transaction. It's a fantastic idea. So the dynamics change. So it's not just for paying for transaction, it's for withdrawal purpose, for sending money and what have you. And if you observe
Okay, so
the um So yeah, so they realize the challenge, and so they need the satisfaction. So there's what they call fast moving products where once it's on the shelf is gone. So the rate of turnover, the rate of demand will make you understand where you need to scale. But before you scale, you need a few things. You need the right people, the right employees. So if your vision is not big enough, if you are the only individual to run it, so the bigger your vision, the more people you need. So as Newton said, if I've gone further, it's because I've stood in the shoulder of giants. So if you are still running your vision, then your vision is small. The bigger your vision, the more people you need. So next thing you need to understand is your business won't be nothing if it's built around you alone. Okay, you need the right people. So first, building with right people and sincerity is key. Okay, you can't do it alone. You can't survive. So imagine meeting the needs of 1 million people alone. It's not possible. So one of the responsibility of a founder is building around the right people. So it's a responsibility to discover the right people. Uh, not just the right people, people with sincerity. Okay, so the quality of the people you hire is important. Sometimes you make mistakes based on what you hire because they represent your value system. So, fine. So you need to build a great team of employees. Okay, as fantastic as your product is, it's not going to reach its best or its peak if you have the wrong people on the boat or on the ship with you. So at scaling, you understand the rate of need, the rate of demand of that particular product. You just know it's time to launch out deep. Okay. So probably you have your product in Ikeja and people on the island are demanding for it. People in Ibadan are demanding for it. People in Ogun State are demanding for it. That is a perfect sign to know when to launch out. Okay. It's like you're trying to date a lady she gives you certain signs of taking the relationship to the next step. You don't need fire and water to tell you it's time to move. It's time to propose. It's time to take it to the next step. So as much as you can detect the sign of knowing when to propose, knowing when to fix a wedding, knowing when to have kids or babies, that's how business is. When it's time, you know. Okay, the demand, the dynamics change, the needs change, um, the attention level changes. People are not demanding for your products. You can no longer satisfy the few you have, and more people are asking for it. So it's time to scale. Before you scale, find the right team. Okay, build it, because you can't be at the same place, different places at the same time. So build great team of employees. Okay, um, the next one, and I would like to share with you is partnership, collaboration. We have issues with partnership in Africa. Um, um, I wouldn't tie it to a particular fault, but I just feel our trust rate is low, and people have trust issues. I could relate my business with you, and the next you see my products in the market. But collaboration is key. Okay, you can't do this alone. You can't. Just like PayPal to eBay, you need collaborations. You need partnership. Okay, you can't scale alone. Sometimes you don't have the infrastructure to amplify your products. Okay, so we have some big brands acquiring smaller brands, just like merger and acquisition. So, but you need partnership. Okay, you need partnership. So the network effect is fantastic. So you need collaboration, you need partnership, and you don't have to wait to be perfect to have all you want to scale. You can collaborate with a particular product, individual, existing business, and you move on. So let me just run. So collaboration will always be an important strategy in growing a project. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to say something?
No, no, I'm listening.
So the likes of okay, I don't want to mention names, but we have people that collaborate. So build an influencer network for your business. Okay, build influence is necessary for growth. Okay, marketing is the ideal way to ensure your business sustainability after scaling, and an influencer network can help you. Okay, so build network. Don't just be standalone. So you need people, you need collaboration. The right partnership is key. Note the word, the right partnership, the right collaboration is fantastic. Sometimes you have the perfect business, but you don't have the capacity to scale. So sometimes collaborating with the government, collaborating with an existing business will be the best thing. Okay. Then the next one, good system, good system, good system. I can't overemphasize this. We have systems issue in our country where things can work on their own. So good system make a big difference when managing a fast growing organization. So at the family stage, you must set up system where things work on their own. Okay. So system has to do with make sure tags are consistent. So we have the eye service issue in our country when if the boss is not around, nothing is moving around. Okay, people are on their phones, people are doing what they like. So make sure the staff are clear on expectations. People know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. You get. I've seen business that have fantastic idea. They have fantastic staff members, but they lack good system. And these businesses are finding it hard to scale because imagine you have a fantastic employee and in 2 3 years it's gone. You hire fresh people, they have to learn the system, they have to learn the process, they are gone. And you need good system where people that are already in the business are the one running the business. So if you as a CEO after 10 years or 5 years you are still running your business directly instead of indirectly, there's an issue. So you must build good employee team where you hand over this responsibility daily responsibilities to them, and they're able to hand over this responsibility to others. I call it delegate then dissolve. So delegating is when the first level delegation of responsibility from the CEO to an employee. Then dissolve is a level where the employee delegates to a fellow employee. Okay, where there's no one man show where I'm the only one that can do this. If I'm not around, nothing goes around. It's a bad idea. So in each system where if someone is not around, there are documentation, there's to learn processes, via reading a documentation, via reading a grid, you know what to do. It's a system. It's not tied about around people. It's tied around principles. It's tied around processes.
So this system now, how do we build it? I know you've mentioned building the right team. But I also know that with the right team, they can leave. They can
Yeah.
leave, and something can happen. Like a lot of times, you train one, and then the person has other dreams and other visions. You can't stop it because that's a good thing. They are growing. But how do you build a system that they stay without it affecting your business? And even if they go, how do you build a system that the organization still thrives regardless? I really want to know the how.
All right. So I'm not supposed to be sharing this right now, but it's in my next book. Um, I used to tell people leave your organization, they don't leave your life.
True.
Yeah, so we don't just collaborate with individuals. We don't just collaborate with companies, we collaborate with individuals. Imagine you have a fantastic employee. He relocated from the country, he's in a foreign land. He left your organization, but he has not left your life. You can still collaborate with him, give him some businesses, give him some tags, and you pay. Sometimes people outgrow being an employee. They want to be an employer. You can go into partnership with that sister company, and you're fine. So imagine you have an employer that is into product design, that's into a particular skill set, and they want to leave your company. They want to establish their company. It's a perfect time for partnership. So whatever you're doing before, you can hand it over to this particular company. They can even train the incoming staff. You get staff members, and before you know, you can go into partnership with them for 10 years. So your employee is fulfilling his dream. You are fulfilling your mission. So they leave your company. They've not left your life. You must understand that. So someone said if you train people, they leave. If you don't train them, they leave. For which one is better? Sometimes if you train them, it's even better than not training them, because the cost of not training is so destructive. So you train them, they leave. You don't train them, they leave. But sometimes it's better you train them, because that period they are with you, they make a difference. But they can leave your company, but they've not left your life. That's the place of keeping a proper relationship with your employees. Okay, you don't have to control their life. There's place for the relationship has just changed from being an employer employee to partners. So the terms has changed, the contract is changing, but the work is still moving. So sometimes you can contract all of what you have to them and you're still fine. So but the cost of not training someone is even worse. You get that
Okay.
point.
Yeah, I do. I really like the point where you said you don't just collaborate with the company, you collaborate with the people, the individuals. So even if they leave, you can still collaborate with them, regardless of the fact that they are not within your space anymore. There's still room for collaboration with them. I really like that point. Is a new point to me. So I really like, and it's something I'm going to chew on. The next question I have is, can we scale without investors?
So it depends. As I said, you can't. So in recent years, a friend of mine sent me a report. I don't know if I should share. Hold on. sent me is Nigeria startup scene for 2023. Based on the Silicon Valley Bank stuff, investors are scared of. So there's no much investments as it was in 2022. Let me read the statistics to you. So the investment rate dropped, and we had a lot of shutdown of startup within the space. So yes, we can scale with our investors, but you just have to be patient. Okay. With the rates, investors are even scared of investing. Silicon Valley Bank, we know what happened last year. So the rate of investing in startup has slowed down. In fact, hold on, just give me a minute. Let me give you uh, a brief uh, statistics of startup. Then I'll give you some example. So in 2003, African founders raised 3.5 billion US in funding, debt, equities, and exits, compared to US 645 billion in 2022. Altogether, 10 startups raised 1.2 billion, accounting for about 35% of total funds in 2003. So, but that's not what I want to check. Hold on. So while the value of equity deals declined by more than half to about 2.3 million over 473 deals, okay, compared to 4.9 million over 693 deals in 2022. So, but all of these, what it's going to give you is you have some companies shutting down, you have people acquiring companies, you have mergers happening. Yes, business can still survive either by merging with an existing business, acquiring an existing business, or shutting down. But we all know the rate of growth where you have an investor. Investors are just more careful. But when you want to scale proper, we know I think startups in Africa have probably the most funding, but there's a rate at which you can grow without funding and a rate at which you can with funding. So you grow is growth. Okay, growth is growth, but the rate at which you grow is different because the rate of investment you have in marketing, the rate of investment you have in manpower is different, and effectiveness is actually could actually make a difference. You keep growing, but not at the rate you want to grow. So
So,
yes, you can grow without investors. Yeah.
so what you're saying, if what I'm hearing is, even though scaling without investment is possible, it's limiting.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's not so much of a good news.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we get investments to scale?
So it's just a simple question. It's a simple answer. So let me give you based on this statistics. So we have some mergers and acquisition last year. We have biotech acquired InstaDeep. We have I just Money Point acquired Kobo Kobo. So the thing is, it's easy. Um, have a value. If you have a need people actually need, they will actually come for you. So most of this acquisition and merger happen because these particular brands have a need. They are solving a particular need, and these big boys in quotes can't solve this particular need. They understood the model, they build a software that is fixing this particular challenge. The next you have, so investors go for value, not for popularity. Okay, it's not about you being popular. What are you offering? What are you offering that no one else is offering? You said it. So what's your market fit? If you have a perfect market fit, there's a market for it. So imagine you have a good product and you have a billion customers for it, and you have a good distribution system. There are big companies that will come around and acquire you. So I think eBay acquired PayPal, and because they have the market fit. They actually need that particular product. You get distribution is fantastic. They've tested the product for years. So once you have value, people come for you. You don't have to struggle. Okay, once you are good, you have something no one else have. Investors will definitely come. So it's not about doing what other people are doing. If you are doing what other people are doing, you are not making a difference. Once people know you are making a difference, no matter how small you are, big companies will come for you. So we have stories of people WhatsApp being acquired, Instagram being acquired. There's this particular product. It's not coming to my head. A big investor came to acquire them and they refused. Or I think they made a pitch and they turned them down. And today they award a fortune. So have a value, solve a particular need, have the market size. And so these investors are not fools. They know when there's a market for this. They know when your product is actually satisfying a particular niche. What they just amplify it. Okay, so what investors do is they don't change anything. They don't do anything different. They just amplify. So if you are failing, they amplify your failure. If you are succeeding, they amplify. So they amplify whatever you have because they are using the same model. Maybe the marketing strategy is changed, the manpower is improved. You get so the rate of building branches has improved. So it's not you can read all the books about getting investors, but if your product is not speaking for itself, nobody care about how good you are or how fine you are. Yeah, they just want to know how much you're making. So and one thing you need to understand why it's scaling is the high gross profits. Okay, what's the difference between the cost of production and what you're selling? If it's very low, maybe it's one naira. It depends on if you're running on turnover or volumes. It's fantastic, but you need to understand. Hold on, let me check. So your high gross is fantastic. You need to know how the profit you make, what's the cost of production, the cost and your selling price. If the margin is so small, then your business is not valuable. But in tech, a particular product, you can sell it to different consumers. So if you are selling it for 100 million, it's the same thing, but it's just different customers. So the rate at which you turn, the profit margin is crazy. That's why, okay. That's why people in tech are just different. Okay. So, but you need to check your gross margin. Is it big enough to sustain the business? If it's not big, so these are things that investors check. First, you must have a good product. Is there a market for it? If there's a market for it, you have a good distribution system. Then investors just amplify. You can't hide good things. You can, no matter where you are. If you are good, you are good. The people will locate you.
So speaking of gross margin, um, so you've started your business and you realize that your current business model is not scalable, and you're like, okay, I want a business that can scale without changing. I know there is a need for this business. It's not just a pet project, but my model, it won't work for what I'm doing. Can you change it? Can you change the business model? Is it possible? Is it something that is advisable to change it, or you should just change the business totally? What do you advise? Are there rules to this?
So talking about business model, right? We have the likes of Facebook. Um, we have the likes of LinkedIn. Facebook started as a free app, you get, and people. So what they did was they leveraged on the network. So when they had enough people, and they felt okay,
I would have, I would really love to hear the answer of that, because it's also something that I would want to know. But why the network is messing up? I would still go on what he said. So he said earlier, he said to attract investment, you need to have a value, and investors amplify whatever it is you're doing. And yeah, most times they use the same model. So if you're doing something that you shouldn't do, they amplify it. If you're doing something you should do, they amplify it. But what you should note is that they are attracted to value. So in as much as you have a business and you realize that this business is something that I would want to scale with, you have to go back to the drawing board. You have to ask yourself, what's my market? You have to ask yourself, does this fit my product? Does it fit my market? Um, okay, he's back.
All
Okay,
right.
so just if I go on, sir.
So I was talking about the network effects, right? So we have there are two effects. Let me talk about the network effect. We have the direct increase in usage lead to direct increase in value. So the more people you have on WhatsApp, the more people you have on Facebook, increases the value of that particular. So imagine you are running an ad on Facebook. Imagine the number of people you are reaching, right? So sometimes you can start as a freemium. When you gather the network effects, then you can sell. Okay, so the LinkedIn too, we have the premium, but everyone can use a particular product. So if you are familiar with design, if you use Figma, there's a free version of it, but there's a paid version of it where it gives you more products, more features. You have more access to certain things. So what they want you to get addicted to a particular product, then you request for more. So Amazon, let me tell you what Amazon is doing. Amazon has a pool of customers, right? That's why they're able to run their their e-commerce platform very well. Where every vendor wants to be around the numbers. So Amazon have the numbers, they have the customers. So if you as a vendor you're on their platform, it's going to be an advantage to you. So these are things you have. So let me tell you, Amazon AWS, Amazon Web Service started not as a business. It started as okay, they invested in this particular technology and they can't even exhaust this particular technology. Okay, so they felt, why don't share? Let's share this particular technology. They actually built it for the e-commerce. They just want somewhere to store some of their products, their data, and what have you. They felt, this is too big for one person to use. Why not departmentalize it? Okay, let's share it, let's petition it. So if Sassy wants a space on this space, let's sell a particular space to her. If someone else wants a space, let's give her a space. Okay, so it was never an intended project or product. Actually, it's just out of abundance. So you can start as freemium. So you have the likes of Twitter and WhatsApp. I feel WhatsApp will be finternized. It will be turned into fintech in the nearest future, where you can use WhatsApp to transfer, just like PayPal, where you can use Twitter to transfer. So the goal of Elon Musk is not a social media. They want to make Twitter a fintech. Okay, so it was part of the founders of PayPal. They wanted to name, so they merged. So they have a company X and they merged with PayPal, but PayPal came up on top as a favorite name. He wants the company to be named X. So Elon Musk have always had this vision of creating a fintech, okay, a space where you can transfer money, not limited to email and what have you. So he got Twitter not with the intention of making it a perfect social media. So you imagine when he got it, he changed a lot of stuff, the management, top management, the board, the model, he changed it. So these people start, so the number is on Twitter, like you get an average of 5 to 2 people you meet are on Twitter. So imagine you, I want to transfer to you. I just ask for a Twitter account or X account and I've transferred to you. So sometimes you do a business to get the numbers, you do a business to get the credibility before you start converting it to a transaction. So imagine in the nearest future, people will be using X to do transfer, cross continental transfer, word transfer, where I can transfer money from you from particular country, from particular continent to you. So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So sometimes you need to understand your business need. Do you need numbers first? If you have the numbers, then you can sell. Then we have the two-sided increases here. So I don't want to bother you. So we have two-sided, which is increases in usage by one set of users, increase the value to the different set of complementary users, vice versa. So we have the likes of Uber, Airbnb, eBay. Okay, so there's a customer for it, So Airbnb, people travel. There's a space you can put your location for rent, and so it's two-sided. Okay, I have an apartment, you have the people. Okay, come join and what have you. So it's different. So you need to leverage your network. The network effect is fantastic. So sometimes it comes as free, then you start profiting from it.
So are you saying, in as much as I understood what you were saying, but I need to know, are you saying that we should change our business model, or you're saying that we should integrate our business model, the current business model?
So it depends on what you're writing. So business model, when you're talking about business model, is beyond a skill set. You having as a craftsman having a skill. If it means having the service of a consultant, it's perfect. But business model is everything. It's everything. Like it's everything. Look at LinkedIn. Okay. Look at Google. Google. There's Google AdSense. Yeah, then there's Google. So there's people that uses AdSense that are paying for your freemium. Okay, so without model is like a lifestyle. If you don't have a proper lifestyle as an individual, you won't make a lot of progress in life. So a fantastic idea that lacks a good model will dry up. So it depends.
So you
So it's not
change
a
the
general
model.
thing, it's product specific. Yeah. So you might involve a professional to help check your model. It might not be what Facebook, Amazon are using. It might just be a completely different model. What other model do I want to check? Uh, Give me a product. Let me see if I can remember that product business model.
I'm not sure you heard me.
I
I
didn't.
said I said sassy saints. Okay.
I need to
Okay,
check.
so we have been now LinkedIn. What about LinkedIn?
Yeah. So
Or
LinkedIn updates. I'm with you.
yeah, you can continue.
So LinkedIn operates freemium and premium, where you have access to using the app without paying. But there are some features you need to enable, like in email. And not naturally, you can't send an email to a third party. You don't have a mutual connection.
A craft organization. Let's say my Atako now. What business model does my Atako use? You don't know. Okay, let me give another person another brand. What about, I don't know if you know, um what's it called? I can remember the logo, but I can't remember the name. As Souza Souza's company. I can't imagine that I've forgotten the name. But let's move on. So the thing is, I would like to know, based on the craft industry, what business model is best? Because you've been talking, I've realized that professionals are quite important when it comes to knowing this sort of things, this business side of things. And most of us don't have that professional acumen. Most of us started technically. We just learned a skill and just started. All this market size, market fit, we learned it on the way. Some of us got lucky, we blew. Some of us, exactly, some of us we are struggling here and there, adding things and minusing things. Why some of us has just accepted our fate. But to speak to the need of the craft people, I would like to know what professionals we should meet, because a lot of times we feel we need to know everything, but the truth is you can't know everything. The more you know, the more you realize that you don't even know. So you can't know everything. There are sometimes that you have to reach out for help. You have to go to the professional that already knows about this thing. So for instance, let me give an instance. While I was in my class, because my school, and my tutor was talking about branding. And he mentioned that they were actually brand consultants. I didn't know. I didn't know that there are actually people that do brand consulting,
Mm.
where you go to them, tell them your idea, regardless of how raw it is, and they break it down for you. They tell you your market, they tell you what you should focus on, they tell you how you should present yourself out there and stuff like that. And the truth is, these things are as simple as they are the lifeline of your brand, they are the lifeline of your business.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you sell out there, people are perceiving something. If you're making a t-shirt, people are perceiving whether your t-shirt is great based on how you put it out there, not just
Yeah.
based on the quality of your footwear or the quality of your t-shirt. I've seen amazing t-shirts that are sold in very rough way, and they are way better than the t-shirts that are so packaged and so expensive.
Mm.
And sometimes I wonder why? Because I know the people that buy this would want this type of t-shirt, not just the experience that comes with it, but even the quality. So why is this person so much at the low level? Why and this other person, regardless of how poor in quotes, his work is far, is going far, is scaling without any stress, is growing. Um, and I'm talking nation now. I'm not even talking family or village. And it's an abnormally, and it's something that I would really want to know the step for somebody that is just starting out and really wants to do it right. She has started, he has started, or he has not even started at all, but he wants to do it right. He wants to scale right. He knows his business market is out there. He knows the fit is out there, but he wants to do this right. He wants to be able to take the steps. Does he now go and look for a professional that does business model and those stuff, or he can figure it out by himself?
So it depends. Our upbringing is different. Our exposure level is different. So let me give you example of likes of Steve Jobs. That's why Bill Gates, Mark, and what have you. Some of them are dropouts, and but the people I'm quite specific about is the Google people, the two CEOs. Actually, that search engine was a result of their school thesis. They actually worked in it on it. They're like PhD guys and what have you. So no man is an island, and our level of exposure is different. And but what I know particular about craftsmen in Africa is limited. So craftsmanship in Africa is limited to you being ignorant, you being uneducated. Is an alternate route to not going to school. Like so, those days I realized while growing up, we have people, kids that they consider them dumb. They are they don't understand things in school. Um, so some of their parents just give them a narrative that instead of allowing this guy to be useless, let him go and learn carpentry or tailor. So because they felt education is not entering your head, you get,
Yeah.
and if they just tailor, just conclude your life to someone that is unskilled. So craftsmanship is around people that are not that have not been to school in Africa, unlike and the system, there's no government enablement around to even help, unlike overseas where you don't have to go to school to have a bank support, a bank loan. You don't have to go to school to get an investor. So these guys have Steve Jobs. I love the story of Steve Jobs. He has an or he usually have an idea of what he wants to do, and he get professionals to do it. Okay, so he felt the system size is big, computer size is big. He wants color on the system. He gets professional and he tells them, until you work on it, you're not going home today. So Steve Jobs is the perfect example of proper
Sorry
craftsmanship.
Sorry about that. But can we now talk about getting those professionals? Because for me, I've always had, I have different ideas. That's just the truth. And most times I know that it's not up to me to do them. But to get this professional, especially when you don't have investors, because that's also part of it, because you have to pay some sort of value to the professionals. You have to give them either financially, and sincerely, mostly in Nigeria it has to be financial.
Yeah.
This collaboration thing, they don't rate it much, not yet. So how do we get this professional, especially at our stage? How do we get these professionals with limited finances?
I could. There's something I usually turn to friends and family, your little community, your church, your mosques. Um, we have people that you worship in the same place. They can give you free consultancy around it. You have family and friends who have this exposure that even though they don't have the knowledge, they can link you up with someone that, so you know someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows someone. So sometimes leverage around friends and family first. Those are the things. Without finance, you can achieve a lot with friends and family and community. So it could be a club, it could be a church, mosques, what have you, just a social gathering. It could be on your Instagram, your social media handles. You have good rapport with these people. And as I say, the loudest thing in the realm of the spirit is value. Everybody responds to value. No, it doesn't matter if you've been to if you've gone to school, you have certificates, you don't have. Once you have value, people turn to you. I don't want to mention a particular set of people, even while they are not looking too good, people still go to them for answers. And even when you are perceiving the all of the nonsense. So people with problem don't care about how you look. Have you seen
True.
have you seen a patient trying to check a doctor, trying to size the doctor if the doctor is fine, short, black, whatever size? What,
Yeah,
what do you have? Give it to me. I don't care how you look. Maybe when you start getting okay and you start sizing the doctor, you say, the doctor is not even fine. Because you're all right. People that are all right have options. So, and your business is selling to people that are not all right. People that have challenges, people that have a problem they want to solve. That they don't look at how qualified you are, how dark you are, whether you're a school dropout, but what you have is solving their problem. They are okay with it. Okay, so first, look at your family, look at your friends, leverage on friends and family for this consultancy. But you just need to be wise about it. You need a legal person to advise you so that you patent your product, so that someone that thinks is smarter than you won't steal your idea. So first, you have to check about, make sure it's registered, and sign non-disclosure form with some of these people, give them share options and what have you. But as I said earlier on, people have exposure level, and you might not know accounting, you might not know fintech, you might not know any of this, but you have the idea, you have the model. Why not?
I like when you said use those around you. The truth is sometimes we look too far. Whatever it is that you need is around you. It may be in the raw form, but it's around you. So
Yeah.
you have to look within. You have to look at your space, because there's a reason you're in that space. And if you're in that space, then there's somebody that is out there around you that actually has what you need. And the person may not have it in the best form that you expect or in the best form that you want, but the
Mm.
person will have it in the best form that you need. I'm going to say that again. The person may not have it in the best form that you want, but the person will have it in the best form that you need. So you have to understand the power of your community, the power of your space. I'm going to use this live chat as an example. For me, doing business beyond skills, I really don't know many top professional in quotes. I really don't know. I'm not in that limelight to say, oh, I know Otedola or I know this thing. But I also know that I have those that have as much depth. They may not have gotten to, in quotes, the highest level, but it's simply about timing. So they have as much depth. The best way to start is to use those around you.
Yeah.
Level I think the word is leverage on those around you. Let them work with you to get to wherever it is that you're going to. And I think we also tend to ignore today while looking toward tomorrow. No,
Yeah.
forgetting tomorrow would once again become today. So if you always look for ahead without looking at the present, when the ahead comes, you won't know because you are still looking ahead. So you have to understand that your now counts when it comes to your future. And for those that we are always looking ahead to, like, oh, this person, I wish I had this person that is over there and stuff like that. Those people also started from a today. Oh. Those people started from you know them because they've been doing it for so long, but their beginning stage was not as bright or as sweet as that. So in as much as you want to scale, you have to start from somewhere. The scripture says the little will become a thousand, a small nation a mighty one. You would have to start with small. In as much as you become a mighty nation, you will start with small. Even though you want to become a big one, you still have to be little. My Every one of us speaking now was once born as a baby. It's time that made us adults. It's time that made us old men. It's time. So everything is about time. So just understand that to scale, you have to understand today. I
Yeah.
think that's the first thing. You have to understand your now, your presence. You have to understand the needs of the market presently, the wants of the market presently, the fit of your products in that market presently. Then work in steps towards the scaling where you want it to be tomorrow. I think it's easier for you to work like that. It is better than for you to just jump and get investment. And remember what Mr. Makinwa said about investors, that they just amplify what you have. So all they do is amplify. So if you're half baked, because the beauty about today is it helps you go through your process. So in going through your process, you're fully baked over time. When investment comes, because once they recognize the value, they come. Once they come, they amplify that fully baked. But if you're half baked and then you just jump and you're like, oh, I need investors, I don't want to go through those processes. I just need investors now, 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 now. A lot of businesses have crashed. As beautiful as they were, as sweet as they were, as awesome, as market fit as they were, they've crashed because there was something missing in their business model or in their marketing style. So we have to understand that also. I
So,
don't know if you
uh,
have any
sorry,
things
I'd
to
like to
say.
recommend a book.
Yeah.
Um, back cable, back cable, back cable. Yeah,
By who?
it's let me see, it's quite far. Um, okay, let me see. Let me type the book here.
Okay.
I'll type it on the chat.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me get the book. Hold on. So this is the book, back cable. Um, yeah, back cable. Sonny um, Gupta. Yep. So that's the book, back cable by Sonny Gupta. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would like to point a problem before I move forward. So it's not just when you're starting, you need some of these advice, accountants. Some of these big fintech companies have board members that are well experienced in investments. Some board members have established number of businesses. So if you be wowed if you know board members in some of these fintechs, some of these industries, some of these startups, they have years. If you combine them, it might be up to 200 years of experience. Some of them have experience starting up a business. They're just board members in a particular company, startup. So these guys are wise. You get, they know they don't know everything. So our problem in Africa is accountability. We love independence. Someone said the first problem of Nigeria is independence. because we're not even ready for independence. So what you should go for is accountability and interdependence. So independence is overrated. I just want to be on my own. I want to do my thing. So you can't go far without instructors. Okay. So accountability is our problem. You must learn accountability, get mentors. People just want to be independent. Independent. They want independence. They want to be dependent. So it's not good to be dependent. It's not good to be independent. Interdependence is the word. Okay. Even no matter how big you are, okay, no matter how small you are, you still need people in your life. You need people that speaks into your life, that get instructions for. So the only difference between you starting up and those that have been established is sometimes you pay their board member, they put their board members. Right now, you're not paying your friends and family. So there are two different things. Board all through from start to finish or start to decline, you need board members in your life. You need family and friends in your life. You need professionals in your life. And so that's just my contribution.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. I think I've read through all my questions, even the ones I didn't ask. You have answered it, and I think with what we've gotten, it's pretty good enough. And with the book, I think it will also help us in knowing how to scale, the best way to scale. I want to say
Yeah, so
thank you.
the book is about getting investors, have ability to pitch, ability to persuade people to buy into you, ability to sell what you have. Okay, it contains process, systems you need to. So for example, if you are selling a business idea to someone, we like talking about the good part. So you're not talking. So people want process and effort. So imagine you want to talk about SASI cents. You don't just run them through your numbers. Like we make this. No, you run them through the process. How you started it in the one room. How your first business failed. How you borrowed money. How you shut down. How you got your sample. How you spent. You had sleepless nights building a product. They want that. So it's part of the persuasion. So backable gives you a convincing power on how to. So sometimes you don't just include your data of success, your numbers, you include the process. So the backable encourages you to include process when you want to
Okay,
set.
I agree so much with that because I'm going to share a story right now without mentioning names. There's a process I'm going through at the moment, and it's a program, and I had to share about Sassy Saints, and I sincerely, based on my record, I didn't think I was going to be picked per se because it's not like I really have it all. But because I shared my protests, I shared my failures as well as how I overcame them. I shared my present situation, the level I'm at right now. And I got into the program, and so far it's been like I'm on a new level right now. So
Wow.
sometimes we feel like we need to be perfect when
Hmm.
talking to investors, but we forget that investors are people, and they know that you are not perfect because they themselves are not perfect. They know that, the beautiful thing about meeting those that have gone ahead of you is they've gone ahead of you. They went through the process.
Yeah.
So they know that there is failure involved. They know that there are challenges involved. They know,
Mm-hmm.
so they are not interested in the perfection. They are interested in how you overcame the challenges, how
Awesome.
you plan on overcoming the problems that are going to come forth, how you're
Awesome.
strong enough regardless of the situation on ground, how you're
Yeah.
able to stand despite the things you've been through, how you're able to keep up the business despite the fact that you should have folded up, because people that have as much or even more are folded up, but you're still standing even though all you're doing is breaking even. And sometimes we think breaking even is a bad thing, but breaking even it's beautiful. It shows that you can float. Some people drown, so if you can float, is an edge for you. Sell that I can float. That's if you've not flown.
Hmm.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That play of word. But anyway, that's not just it. I need us to be encouraged in terms of going for more, because of where we are, we feel, oh, I can't go for more, I can't scale, I can't grow. But you can.
Hmm.
If you're alive, you can. If your business is alive, it can. If you have to change your model, change your model. If you have to change your methods, change your methods. But you can. That
Mm-hmm.
goal can be achieved. Help find out. I said something earlier when I went to an event. I said that you're foolish. The fact that you know you're foolish is a great thing because you can change your foolishness. It's
Yeah.
just that makes you become
Mm-hmm.
wise. The person that was foolish yesterday and asked a question yesterday and got an answer, today the
Yeah.
person cannot be foolish in that aspect. So
True. True.
understand that you can keep going. I have failed a number. Oh my God, I have failed too many times in my life.
Hmm.
But you see, me, I know that those failures are my strengths. They are my scars. They are my stars
Mm-hmm.
because I am succeeding. I don't know if you understand. In as much as I have failed too many times to count, I am succeeding. It may not
Yeah.
look like it, but the connecting dots do not seem connected until you've gotten the whole picture. So as long
True.
as you're still painting, as long as you're still, the tapestry is still on, you're still weaving it together, at one point you will see that though there be mistakes, I'm actually making an amazing and a beautiful clothes.
Hmm.
I'm actually making this aspect. So you have to understand that it is those that give up, those that say, I'm not doing again, they are the ones that have truly failed. As long as you keep standing up, you keep moving, you keep learning, unlearning, and relearning,
Hmm.
and understand that your dream counts, your vision can be realized. You can dare, you can do it, and you can achieve it, and you keep going. Don't worry. One day the story will tell. One day the vision will speak. So
True.
I really appreciate the fact that you came here. First of all, I want to say thank you so much because I know that you have a lot of things you could be doing right now, but you chose to be here. And we are not all that, even though we are all that, but we are not all that yet. Yet you still always honor this call. I want to say thank you for that. For what you've said so far, I also want to say thank you because you've opened our minds to more than one thing. So after recapping on these lessons that we've done so far, I want to tell you guys not to forget to get the book. It is called Backable by Sonel Jupiter. Backable by Sonel Jupiter. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share and follow this page. You can also follow our guests on at the David Makinwa, at the David Makinwa. To alert more people of this event, kindly take a screenshot and share the lessons you have learned on your social media platforms. Don't forget to tag us at the David Makiwa and at Sassy Saints NG, of course. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for being a part of it. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. Um, you can always reach out if you have anything you would like to add, topics that you would like to for us to learn on. You can always reach out. Thank you so much, Mr. Makiwa. Thank you to the audience also. I appreciate it. And the time is fast spent, but I would like to know if Mr. Makiwa has any last word for us before we take our leave. Okay, he's gone. So thank you so much. Till next time, let's go win some. Take care and bye bye. Okay, bye, sir. Take care.